What's up, guys? This is Clay with the Startup Takeoff. It is now September 2nd, and it has been about 2 months since I updated the blog. 2 months, I think. And it's not been out of neglect. We've just been really, really busy. And this is now 11 months we've been in Bali, 11 months in this villa, and we're kind of going a little stir crazy, especially the last 6 months, which have been especially grindy. But we're coming to the close of at least this villa. Our lease is up on the 8th of October, and then we're going to be moving a little closer to the beach, a little closer to downtown, and kind of enjoying ourselves a little bit more. But for this update, I wanted to answer some reader questions, because I've been getting quite a few emails over the last couple months, and some of them are good questions, and I'd rather just answer them in a video and let everybody get the response. So the first is from Jason, and Jason asks, "Hey Clay, you've probably been through this before and got past it, but I've lost my motivation in my web business and I need advice and tips to get back going." So I have a quote. "Inspiration is for amateurs. The rest of us just show up and get to work. It's only about 1% of people who have the discipline, motivation, and just grit to make the entrepreneurial breakthroughs that create the jobs for the rest of the population," quote Brian Tracy. And if you cannot discipline yourself to create your own framework or create your own assets, then you'll have to work for somebody else who can create the framework for you to work out of. So a lot of times, especially when you're starting out, motivation is kind of like something you chase. I need to be motivated to work. But eventually you get to a point where there's just so much on the go where you just can't. If you don't work, things will fall apart. So that can kind of keep you going. But also you just build up habits, just strong habits of work ethic. And those are far more reliable than waiting for inspiration. So that's what I have to say to you, Jason. I hope that helps. My next question is from Brad. And Brad says, "Holy shit, man. My college roommate and I, both graphic designs, etc., have been tossing around starting our own firm. We've been bullshitting the idea, but I finally got him on board. And after working with Indian Pakistani developers, it got ridiculous. We got the ridiculous idea to move to Bali and hire local talent to do all our work. It was a simple solution to bridge the gap between the two worlds. We both know communication is the key to success. I stumbled upon your YouTube channel, etc. It's refreshing to see two guys doing what we've been too scared to do. After doing some research, I figured Thailand would be a better opportunity for a company, but I'm still intrigued by the idea of Bali. So my questions are, how are you incorporated? Are you registered as a Canadian company? Are you paying local or Canadian taxes? Are you registered as an Indonesian company? Are you paying your Indonesian employees as freelancers? Any info you can give me would be very helpful. Me and my partner have put a tentative plan to leave December 2015. December 2015. That's what, 16 months? That's good. Well, I hope you pull the trigger on it, but I can give you a little insight onto how we're set up and structured here. So we pay our employees as contractors. And if you hire anybody on Odesk, they're, again, just a contractor. So we don't, because we're completely online, and all of our income is generated from non-Indonesian sources, we don't register as an Indonesian company. So we're actually a Canadian corporation that operates primarily in the US. So the revenue that I'm earning right now is coming from two sources. It's the affiliate earning, the PPCall, and then the eCommerce. And the affiliate earnings are personal, and they're non-Canadian earnings from a non-Canadian source, and I'm a non-resident of Canada, so there's no tax on those earnings. And then the e-commerce earnings are through the Canadian corporation, which we are taxed on at the corporate rate. And then there's advantageous ways to structure your corporation to minimize your tax liability, whether that's not personally holding shares in your company and having a holding company that holds your shares, or incorporating offshores in Hong Kong if that's possible, which I'm not totally familiar with how to do. Next question. Okay, Nicholas asks, "Hey, I've been looking at your website for a while and I love it. I'm looking to move out of Sydney to Bali or Goa or Northern Thailand or Central America to work on a new product and get it up and running. I've also started learning PPCall for a few weeks, and while my career is in IT, it certainly is challenging. I see PPCall as a great vehicle to be able to work while developing a product. I have a couple questions. First, how long did it take you to start making money with PPCall? I started losing money immediately, and not a lot, but $5 to $10 a day, but I was investing heavy hours at the beginning. and I would say about 6 months until I was profitable. And keep in mind, there's a couple 2 months in there where I was, drinking and not really focused every day. But be prepared to give it 6 months. It's not so much the investment of money; it's more the investment of your time. And you have to achieve a certain level of skill. Really, you might just find some keywords that convert for you, but if you want to consistently be successful, you need to achieve a certain level of skill with AdWords or Bing or whatever your traffic source is. I know, or if you're doing something crazy on mobile apps or something like that, I don't know. How much money per day and per month have you been making this year? I will not answer that question. What were the major challenges you faced as part of learning it? The major challenges that I faced as part of learning PPCall. Definitely the toughest part is facing the enormous amount of failure. Because there's no barriers to entry and anybody can get set up and going in affiliate marketing, the failure rate is like 99.9%. And then even those 0.1% that actually succeed, only a few of them go on to become very, very successful. And the major challenge is that almost everything you do will fail. Every campaign that you set up will be completely and utter garbage. And I look back at my account campaigns I set up originally, and I just detest what they were. I wasn't even aware of what I was doing wrong, which is the problem, is that you don't know what you don't know. So I didn't even have my quality score column visible. I wasn't even aware of my quality score for my first 2-3 weeks of setting up campaigns, which is so critical. So that's very important, is that the biggest challenge is the amount of failure that you have to go through. You literally have to churn. I have over 300 campaigns in my graveyard of my Bing and AdWords account. But once you hit the campaigns and once you learn a set of replicable strategies, and a lot of this discoveries you'll have to come on your own, or just really seek them out and hit it hard. But once you have that replicable set of formulas, you can just repeat it and scale and scale and scale into mosquitoes, into what is beyond what I ever thought. So I hope that helps. Last question is by Richard. Richard says, I saw your video about how to start a successful local web design business. Great job, and thank you very much for posting that. You mentioned, by the way, thanks for mentioning how great contractors from the Philippines are. It really leaves a good impression on people that I want to hire freelance from the Philippines. Anyways, I'm a website developer. I've worked with Flat, PHP, another variety of web coding languages. He says he's formed a company, and even after getting that first client, we continue to struggle to find new clients. The downside is that I'm based in the Philippines, where there aren't that many business opportunities for website developers. We would love to get US-based clients and are thinking of going through Yellow Pages to find them. Now my questions, is it really that important to get to meet your clients in person, face-to-face? Is a Skype call enough? If I just fax in the contract, would that at all be good? How do you think people in the US would react to a Filipino trying to sell them services over the phone? If you watch that video, the How to Start a Successful Web Design Business in 2014, I talked about the whole business model was geared around targeting the laggards, direct mail, people who don't have a website or a really broken website. So this is intrinsically problematic if you are going to not meet your clients face-to-face, because these are old school laggards. They don't have a website. They're behind the curve. They're not going to be able to get on Skype. If you want to get somebody on Skype, they probably, and they're willing to hire somebody purely over the internet, and you want to secure a client, a US client, for good money over a Skype conversation. That's a lot more difficult to do, and you need to be, your client will probably be more tech savvy, so it has to do with how your interaction is, what their perception of you is, and what value you can offer. So web design might be a little too limited, but if you can offer them web design plus what they're more... All right, so the camera died there. But I was saying, if you can offer them web design plus something additional, what they're really concerned about, whether that be leads or looking more professional in the eyes of their clients so they can charge more, really find out what those need points are and really hit those hard, and that's going to help you secure a client without actually meeting them face to face. But they're going to have to be a little more tech savvy, and you're going to have to be more on point. There's less leeway with the old contractors, the laggards, the way that I had done it when I did my web design business. So if you have any questions, ask away. It's really cool to see reader email and see people who are doing the same thing, pulling the trigger, setting a date, saving up, learning all these skills on the side, and then just pulling the trigger on Asia, on this life. You're rolling the dice on something, and if it works out, it will pay off. It's the best decision I've ever made. And for a while, there was definitely some dark days. The uncertainty is massive, but you need to have that uncertainty in order to allow yourself to evolve into more profitable situations. You need to give the space for yourself to grow professionally and business-wise. And as long as you do what you can do every single day, that focus on the process, building your skill sets, because your skills are assets, and those assets are just invaluable. Nobody can take that away from you. And at this point, I feel like I have such a random, scattered set of skills. I mean, photography, it's something you have to learn. I've watched now maybe 20 tutorials on product photography, YouTube tutorials, and I've done countless, probably thousands of shots of products now, and just testing, trial and error, loading up into Lightbox, then just everything, managing employees, compiling financial statements, analytics analysis, statistics. It all comes in. You learn like all of these skills. You pick up a little bit of PHP, a little bit of web design, but continually focusing on your skills, because your skill base are the assets that will lead you to success, and that is the process focus that you need to really improve your odds of succeeding. Anyway, me and Drew are going to be out of here at the end of the month, and we're going to be moving closer to the beach to relax a little bit, been burning out, and I'm really excited. We're going to be in Colombia in December or January. So the Startup Takeoff is going to Colombia for 4 months, and we'll have some awesome content for you coming from South America. We're going to wait out the cold northern winter and enjoy it, enjoy the food. I've never been to South America, so I'm excited. Probably we'll be in Colombia, we'll be in Medellin. We'll find a place there, and if you're going to be in Colombia or you'll be around that time, hit us up, we'll meet up. I always meet anybody who's around Bali or anything like that, go out for beer or whatever, talk shop, it's great. So stay tuned. We'll probably give one more update from the villa, and then the next one will be maybe from the beach, just to rub it in. I know it's getting colder in most American, Canadian cities, but hopefully that motivates you. Anyway, I'm out, and till next time.